Hello everyone, my name is Jack and this is Homebrew Heroes, where I share with you all some homebrew content for the game Dungeons & Dragons. Today I'll be going over some ways of bringing the Nintendo Fantasy Series Fire Emblem into D&D. This is one of my favorite video game franchises. I mean, Fire Emblem 7 on the Game Boy Advance is my all-time favorite game. So I'm really excited to show off some races and subclasses that are based on this shipping simulator. I mean, epic RPG. God damn it, this is an epic RPG. Awakening didn't turn this into a shipping fest. God damn it, Awakening. Go back in the dumpster where you belong. And bring fate in this sexy beast with you.
How frightening!
If you're interested in these guides, the links to them can be found in the description below. With that said, let's ride. Created by ScottyNahom on Reddit, Fire Emblem 5e is a guide that adapts the classes and rules of D&D to fit a Fire Emblem campaign. It doesn't have to change much, since both of these series are very similar to each other to begin with. Medieval fantasies, grid-based movement, vast collection of items and weapons, memorable NPCs, fights with dragons, good plots, bad plots, plots with big, round, beautiful axes. Yeah! Although the current version of the guide, version 0.5.5, is a work in progress, it does contain some pre-established rules to help you get started. The weapon triangle is a rule that grants advantages and disadvantages on attack rolls based on which weapon you're using. It's similar to the Pokemon triangle with fire, water, and grass, except here it's swords beating axes, axes beating lances, and lances beating swords. They've also included bows, magic, and small arms, such as hand crossbows and blowguns, into this rule too. This encourages some forethought about how you head into battle and what weapon to use at any situation. Fire Emblem and D&D have similar classes, like Berserkers and Assassins, but they each have different skill sets and proficiencies. But with the Overclass rule, you could adjust the core D&D classes and subclasses so that they match up with their Fire Emblem counterpart. For example, if you want to play as the Fire Emblem Swordmaster, you would first either create a rogue with the Swashbuckler subclass or a monk with the Kensei subclass. Then you would change your armor and weapon proficiencies to just light armor, medium armor, and swords. You would also get the feats Alert and Blade Mastery at levels 1 and 5. You would still get the usual features of the D&D class you chose to use as you level up. This rule does some nice small touches to these classes to almost feel like they're brand new. Since this guide isn't finished yet, I won't talk about some of the other features, like the Shifter class and the new magic items and weapons. But if you're interested in helping out with this supplement, the link to the subreddit will be in the description below. This is a great way of getting involved with a potentially awesome Fire Emblem conversion guide. In Fire Emblem Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn, the Laguz are humanoids that can transform into animals. They have noticeable animal-like features, like tails and wings, that sets them apart from humans. The humans in these games, which were called Bjork, tend to despise the Laguz for their appearance, calling them animals and subhumans. Some members of royalty even kept them as slaves and tortured them till death. This has caused a rift between the Laguz and the Bjork, but sometimes they have worked together to forge peace or to fight a common enemy. Any member of the Laguz tribes can be a powerful ally to have on your adventures. Each Laguz can transform into an animal that is associated with their tribe. Transformations can last for 1 minute and can be done once per long rest. Whenever they transform, they must use the stat block of their animal. The beast tribes thrive in the jungles and deserts and consist of 4 kinds of Laguz. The cat Laguz are flexible and fast, granting you a +2 bonus to dexterity and being able to transform into a panther. The tiger Laguz can transform into tiger and gain a +2 bonus to their constitution. They also have the feature Hardy Hide, which lets them reduce damage from a weapon attack against them as a reaction. The lion Laguz are the kings of the beast tribes, gaining a +2 to charisma and letting them transform into a lion. Their feature, Running Leap, lets them add their strength modifier to their jumping distance if they were running. The wolf Laguz operate in large packs, working with their allies to survive. They gain a +2 bonus to intelligence and gain pack tactics, which grants them advantage on attack rolls if their target is within 5 feet of an ally. If you haven't figured out what they can transform into yet, don't worry, I can tell you. They transform into wolves.
You are permitted to fully admire the beauty called Oliver.
The bird tribes lie in the islands, taking it to the skies to hunt down their prey. There are 3 kinds of bird Laguz to choose from. The hawk Laguz gain a +2 to wisdom and have hunter instincts, granting them proficiency to survival checks. Hawk Laguz are similar to the Aarakocras, except that they are humans with wings that can transform into giant eagles, while the Aarakocras are just creepy hawks with human arms. The Raven Laguz are faster than their hawk counterparts, gaining a +2 to dexterity and a proficiency in stealth. They can transform into a giant raven, but it's the same stat block as the giant eagle. They also gain the raven's mimicry trait and the owl's flyby trait when they transform. The Heron Laguz are peaceful Laguz that are attuned to nature. They gain a +2 bonus to charisma and can use Gladar. Gladar is different here compared to the Fire Emblem games. You see in the games, Herons can use Gladar to have a character act again on the same round. This would be a broken ass feature in Dungeons & Dragons. Instead, Gladar lets the Herons cast those spells like Prestidigitation and Healing Word. They can still cast these spells even when they are transformed. The final Laguz tribe are the Dragon tribes. They are the most powerful of the Laguz, being able to transform into dragons at any time. There are 2 types of Dragon Laguz to pick. The Chromatic Dragon Laguz are the most ferocious type of Laguz, gaining a +2 to Charisma. Metallic Dragon Laguz are quite the opposite, as they are the most benevolent of the dragons, gaining a +2 to Wisdom. They can transform into one type of dragon of their choice. Depending on their dragon form, they'll gain a resistance to a damage type and a breath weapon. The list of dragon types to choose from and the stat sheets for their dragon forms are at the end of the PDF. The RB Dragon 69 did a good job adjusting the dragon stats to not make them overpowered in comparison to the other Laguz. In Fire Emblem Fates, you must choose between 2 families to join and fight with against the other family. And the poorly written everything.
Oh, yes!
But the ones that stood by your side no matter what were your servants. The servants' only wish is to complete any task that has been given to them, from serving food to murdering everybody in their way.
No mercy! Not from me!
The first feature is Sharply Dressed. If you are unarmored, your AC will equal to 12 plus your dexterity modifier. But if you're wearing fine clothes, your AC will increase to 13 plus your dexterity modifier. You can conceal items easily in these clothes, such as 2 daggers, and any attempt to find them by others will have to do it with disadvantage. You will also get by your side at level 3. As a bonus action, you can assign yourself to an ally 5 feet from you. Until your next turn, you will move whenever your ally moves, always 5 feet away from them. And if somebody attacks your ally, you can use your reaction to cause the attack to hit you instead. You can also activate this as part of your Uncanny Dodge reaction. The level 9 feature is Gentle Care. As an action, you can use a healer's kit on a creature, allowing them to spend one of their hit dice. They'll regain hit points based on the roll and can't use this way of healing until their next rest. But that means you can heal everybody at least once per rest with the healer's kit. Also, at level 13, you'll gain temporary hit points equal to the roll a creature makes whenever you use this feature. It's nice to serve others, but you gotta take care of yourself too. This feature will let you do both. The next feature is Prepare Item. You're always prepared to serve your allies. If you have a pack or a container on you, you can withdraw any non-magical item that's worth up to 50 gold at any time. Need to help your ally break into a bank or someone's legs? Well, with this feature, you can pull out a crowbar at any time to help them out. You'll have to pay the required gold needed to withdraw the item, but by level 13, spending 50 gold should seem like a very small cost to pay. The final feature is By Your Wish. If you use the By Your Side feature and your ally makes an attack, you can also do a free attack alongside your ally. No reaction required. However, if this counts as a sneak attack, you can still do sneak attack damage, but the extra damage roll will be halved. This is similar to the pair up attack feature in the recent Fire Emblem games, where 2 units team up and fight and protect one another. The Servant subclass is a different kind of utility style rogue. The healing and item features is surprisingly useful and fun to use. It's all about protecting and fighting for your friends, just like
I fight for my friends.
in Fire Emblem. Bards, Herons, and Dancers are units that can revitalize others to continue fighting. Unnatural-20 on Reddit has been able to recreate this class as a subclass for the Bard. Just like the Heron Laguz, you can't completely grant an ally another turn to act, but it comes with a good compromise. The College of the Dancer lets you dance for your allies, giving them buffs and revigorating them to continue fighting, somewhat. The first feature is Inspiring Dance. As a bonus action, you can use an inspiration die to dance for an ally 15 feet away from you. This will give that ally temporary hit points equal to the inspiration die roll plus your Bard level. The hit points last for 1 minute, and while the ally has those hit points, they can add a +5 to their movement speed. Just like in real life though, you can't dance like this while you're wearing medium or heavy armor. Although I would really like to see someone try to do the Running Man in plate armor. That would be impressive, but it would probably be very painful to do. Also at level 3, you'll get Fluid Defense. Just like the Servant's Sharply Dressed feature, if you're wearing a costume, fancy clothes, high-end clothes, or like maybe 5 pieces of fabric, your AC will equal to 10 plus your Charisma modifier plus your Dexterity modifier. Since those stats should be a priority for Bards, your AC can go really high up. You also get bonus proficiency at level 3. This just gives you proficiencies in scimitars. Dancing with sharp weapons is always a good idea. The next feature is Weaving Attacks. With this, when you use your action to cast a cantrip, you can use your bonus action to do a weapon attack. This feature will improve at level 14, where you can do a weapon attack as a bonus action if you used your action to cast either a cantrip or a spell. An all-around good feature to have. The final feature is Invigorating Dance at level 14. By spending an inspiration die, you can give an ally next to you a partial turn to act. Your turn will then end and the ally can do a few things. The ally can either A. Do an action if you didn't use your action. 2. If you have used your action, the ally can make a single weapon attack, cast a cantrip, dodge, or disengage. And D. The ally can move, either with its own movement speed or with your own remaining movement speed. It may not be a complete turn, but it's a nice way to help your allies do a redo. The Dancer subclass has a good mix of combat and utility features. You can act as a damage dealer with weaving attacks, can support your allies with dances, or you can do both. It's a much better version than the Dancer than Fire Emblem's version, since most of them are glass cannons that can die in 1 or less hit. And with that, those were some of the Fire Emblem homebrew content out there for Dungeons & Dragons. Let me know in the comments of your thoughts on these guides. Is it balanced? What changes would you recommend? Anything like that. Also, let me know of other homebrew you'll like me to go over in the comments below as well. The links to these guides can be found in the description below. Thanks for watching everyone. Be sure to like and subscribe for more homebrew content and other things.
Flawless!